will move from there on to talking about the weather. So what I may do is just talk about the weather first. I was going to do that last, but I think that's on everybody's mind. So we'll talk about that first, and then we will move on to what I wanted to discuss with you. So, as you know, I watch a lot of weather. I kind of figure all that stuff out. I'm not an armchair meteorologist. I would love to be. people in the church. They're dressed in American flag attire, they're dressed very patriotically, and then at the
this is going on. Children are scared, and I'm taking this from the words of the pastor. So I obviously wasn't there, but the pastor said that children were scared. The protesters would walk up to the scared children who were crying and call them privileged pigs. And there were some awful things said to some of the people there. The pastor, to his credit, he was calm. He was settled. He told, according to him, his words, he told the church to just pray and read their scripture. Just sit down there, pray, and read the scripture. So some people stood up and they prayed over the protesters. Some just sat and read the scriptures. Some left because they felt very, very spooked, because there was, not long before that, a couple years before, there was a shooting there in a church and it killed people. And I'm sure people had that on their mind. And they, it was a thing. I mean, it was all over the world, the news was. And so I don't think we'd ever have that happen here. I don't think we're ever going to have a protest. People kind of barge in. But we've had similar things happen here in a respect, and I'll tell you about those in just a little bit. But I want to walk you through kind of how to respond to this. I think it needs a response. And I think it's important for us to have the right mindset. So I'm going to give you 7 statements that I just kind of want to walk you through about this. And I think these 7 things we ought to all agree on. Whatever side of the aisle you may be on, we all ought to agree on these 7 statements. Number 1, our worship is sacred. This is a sacred place, and it is to be held that way. And that's important for a number of reasons. It's important for members to know that a church is a sacred place. It's where we worship the Lord.